Matthew McConaughey didn't write a book to give advice. He wrote Greenlights to tell the story of a life lived with curiosity, resilience, and a hunger for understanding. It's not a memoir in the traditional sense. It's a collection of lessons, stories, and moments, each one offering a glimpse into how he navigated the obstacles, opportunities, and unpredictable turns of his journey. From his wild Texas upbringing to his breakout role in Dazed and Confused, from the heartbreaks that tested his faith to the bold decisions that shaped his career, McConaughey's voice flows through these pages like a fireside conversation, intimate, raw, and filled with humor. He doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. Instead, he invites you to reflect on your own green lights. Those moments when life says yes, when the path clears, and when momentum takes over. But the heart of the book isn't about chasing the green lights. It's about learning how to read the reds and yellows. It's about realizing that failure, rejection, and waiting aren't signs to stop. They're signals to pause, reflect, adjust, and prepare for the next opportunity. McConaughey shares stories of reckless adventures and quiet moments of clarity, of risking comfort for conviction, and of embracing the unknown with grit and grace. He talks about leaving Hollywood at the height of his rom-com fame, turning down millions to pursue roles that fed his soul rather than his bank account. He opens up about love, about fatherhood, about the search for meaning beyond the applause. His voice is both playful and profound, reminding us that life's rules aren't fixed, they're discovered along the way. Greenlights isn't just a story of a movie star's rise, it's a meditation on presence, persistence, and perspective. McConaughey's notes to self weave through the narrative like gentle reminders. Stay in the process. Embrace the delay. Keep chasing your essence. He reminds us that we don't control the timing of life's green lights, but we can control how we show up for the reds and yellows. And sometimes, what seems like a dead end becomes a detour that leads to something better than we imagined. He shares his belief that green lights are not luck. They are earned through preparation, openness, and courage. He describes the importance of showing up, of doing the work when no one is watching, and of maintaining integrity in a world that often rewards shortcuts. McConaughey's life is filled with lessons on patience, waiting for the right role, listening for the right moment to speak, allowing space for relationships to unfold naturally. He speaks of the importance of family, how his parents, though imperfect, instilled in him a deep sense of self-reliance and humor. He shares stories of love, how it has humbled him, challenged him, and taught him to balance ambition with connection. Greenlights doesn't shy away from the reality that not every light turns green, not every risk pays off, and not every dream unfolds as expected. But it encourages readers to see value in the waiting, in the lessons learned from detours, and in the resilience built from facing life's uncertainties. It's a book about listening to yourself, to others, to the world around you. It's about learning to read the signs, not with fear, but with curiosity. It's about accepting that the road ahead may be winding, but trusting that every curve has its purpose. McConaughey's voice throughout the book is a steady reminder that the journey matters more than the destination. He invites readers to embrace their own stories, to reflect on their own green lights, and to trust that even in the red and yellow moments, there is growth and grace. And so, as you listen to this reflection, allow yourself to slow down, to breathe, to consider where you are in your own journey. What green lights have you missed because you were too focused on the obstacles? What red lights have you resented, not realizing they were giving you time to prepare? What yellows have you hesitated at, unsure whether to speed up or slow down? McConaughey's Greenlights is a call to presence, to perspective, and to perseverance. It's a reminder that life doesn't always give us what we want when we want it, but it often gives us what we need if we're willing to listen. So tonight, as you let your thoughts settle and your breath deepen, remember that the lights will change, the road will clear, and you'll find your own way forward, not by forcing the path, but by trusting the journey.
As the story winds deeper, McConaughey's voice becomes more reflective, more intimate. He invites listeners to slow down, to look back, to see how far they've come. He talks about the importance of journaling, not to capture perfection, but to witness progress, to see the patterns in your own thinking, to recognize the green lights you might have missed because you were too focused on the red ones. He encourages you to write down your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, not for the world, but for yourself. Because writing is a mirror. It shows you not just who you are, but who you're becoming. And finally, McConaughey leaves us with a quiet, powerful reminder that life isn't just a series of random lights. It's a dance, a flow, a rhythm of yes, no, and maybe, of speed, pause, and stillness.
McConaughey's reflections on love, family, and fatherhood add another layer to the journey. He speaks of watching his children sleep, of realizing that the most important green lights aren't the ones that advance your career, but the ones that deepen your relationships. He tells stories of playful afternoons, of teaching his kids to ride bikes, of bedtime stories that turned into life lessons whispered under moonlight. These moments, he says, are the real green lights, the ones that remind you why you do what you do, why you chase the dream, why you keep showing up. He invites listeners to reflect on their own relationships, their partners, their children, their friends, and to recognize that green lights don't always look like success. Sometimes they look like forgiveness. Sometimes they look like a phone call. Sometimes they look like simply showing up, even when you don't know what to say.